Hello everyone, and welcome to Dino Draws Dinos, in which a dino draws dinos in alphabetical order. Today, we will be looking at the Achelousaurus, which was a quadrupedal herbivore that lived in North America about 74.2 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. The name means Achelos lizard, referring to the Greek mythos figure Achelos, who was a river god and a shapeshifter. Now, if you allow me, I would like to get into a little story I have. The Achelousaurus awoke one day and instantly felt that something was off. Perhaps the sun rose on the wrong side of the planet. And of course it hadn't, but it certainly felt as if it was so. On the wrong side or not, the Achelousaurus got up and walked over to the far side of their room, to where the light switch sat on the wall. But when they lightly tapped the little switch, it went on for just a moment, but immediately went out again. "How strange," the Achelousaurus said, already in a detective mood. Curious, the Achelousaurus tapped the switch again, but this time, however, the light went on perfectly normal, and stayed perfectly normal. Squinting their eyes and on their toes, the Achelousaurus walked out of the room, walking as if they were a burglar in a heist. Walking down the hall, a bit uncomfortably, as it didn't seem the walls were built to accommodate creatures of their size, the alert ceratopsid noticed a clatter not too far from their head. Sure enough, just as it turned ever so slightly, a photo that had once stood leaning on a shelf had fallen flat on its back. Surprised, the Achelousaurus jumped back a bit, hitting its own back against the other side of the hall, which seemed much closer than they thought. The photo was of the Achelousaurus, their mama, their papa, their older brother, the younger sister, the baby brother, and their grandma on their papa's side, and the young dinosaur felt a sting of homesickness. After carefully putting the framed photo back, which was very hard having 4 legs and no arms, mind you, the Achelousaurus came to the kitchen, where some boxes left over from the movers the day prior lay on the counters. As soon as they entered the kitchen, the Achelousaurus heard a continuous buzzing noise, and it was nearly driving them mad, and soon the Achelousaurus curled up into a little ball on the floor. Before they could barely get into a comfortable ball shape, however, the sink suddenly spit out water and water, and after hurriedly turning the sink off, the Achelousaurus found that it knew exactly what was going on, and said out loud, "I know what's going on here," and then louder, "So, ghost, come out now! I know you came and want to disturb the house by moving in, but isn't there anything I can do?" Though the last part was more sobs than words. The Achelousaurus heard a scratch coming from the floor, but when they looked down, it was clear the scratch came from their own feet, and after letting out another sob, knowing that what they said was absolutely ridiculous, they turned their head and found the culprit of the low buzzing noise, which was a stove that was still on that someone forgot to turn off. Sniffing and turning the stove off, the Achelousaurus left the kitchen. Perhaps a new home's electricity is not always the most reliable. Perhaps when walking in a hall that seems too small for you, one of your horns may graze a photo on the shelf. Perhaps when you move to curl up into a ball, your tail hits the handle of the sink. Perhaps moving into a new home is challenging, and you can feel really homesick. And perhaps a day feeling strange to begin with might just be because the stove had been left on all night. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, you freshly brewed coffee. I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you liked this drawing, and I hope to see you again next time. This has been Dino Draws Dinos.